Hey, what's up, ladies? This is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about eight things that guys test women on and how to pass them. All right, so I'm not just going to tell you what guys test you guys on, but also how to pass them. All right, and this also includes in the middle of the relationship and also in the beginning, but mostly it's more about the beginning of the relationship. But you see these dynamics as the relationship progresses. Every time. Most relationships, everyone's trying to vie for power. So you're always testing the other person, trying to know their limits. And so in this video, I'm going to show you how to pass those tests with flying colors, all right? So for those who want one-on-one coaching, you should go to Mindful Attraction 2.0, mindfulattraction.org/in-game coaching. For those who want to attend my seminar this weekend, just go to Mindful Attraction. You'll see the link below for my seminar in New York City this weekend. And also for my seminar in LA in a month from now, the second week of August. You can also sign up right now at Eventbrite. You see the link below, right? Now, let me see if there's any announcement. For those who don't subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification button. You know, a little notification, so you guys can get instant notification whenever I put out a video. All right. So I'm putting out my videos once a day, so I don't overwhelm you guys too much. And I'm always gonna put them out around the noon time, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is when my videos are gonna be coming out. So it's gonna be a decent schedule. All right. So let's get started. So the first thing that guys try to test women on. Not the first thing, but something that from my experience, what I do is I test for the woman's level of neediness. Nothing makes a guy lose interest quicker than insecurity, or the same thing, neediness. That's the biggest thing that causes people to lose interest. And so we're always trying to assess how needy is the person, because your level of neediness is equivalent to the kind of value that you perceive yourself to have. So guys are always looking out for needy women, you see, because they will either run away from them, or they're gonna use her to control her and to gain validation from her. You see, if you notice that you keep getting in the wrong relationship or losing guys prematurely, most likely it's because of neediness. They're always testing him. So you gotta learn how to disidentify from your neediness by becoming more present. So this is how you do it. Neediness is an emotion. You see, it's not a thought, but more of an emotion. The emotion is more of a physical sensation. It becomes more than a physical sensation because the interpretation of the physical sensation creates what you call neediness. So what you got to do is go into the experience and feel the physical sensation, devoided of mental labels. You see, because you feel the physical sensation of neediness, and you're like, "Fuck, I don't want to feel needy," and so your mind begins projecting and creating thoughts that's aligned with that level of with the physical sensation of neediness, which will come in the form of resistance. You're not gonna want to feel that neediness, and so your brain begins to create different scenarios. The problem is that it makes it more difficult to step out of it. So the way you do it is to literally observe the physical sensation of your neediness. Every time you feel needy, feel the sensation. Don't notice the thought, but rather feel the sensation. What I do is I write down the physical sensation in my notebook. I literally write them down. And so I'll be like, my chest feels this, my body feels this, I feel stiff here, I feel stiff there, there's some tension here. And the more you explore the experience of feeling needy, the more you're going to be able to let go of it. It naturally happens, but you have to experience the neediness rather than notice the thoughts and the interpretation. Those thoughts and interpretations are not based on reality, but based on your own insecurity. So that's why I want you to bring your awareness to the sensation of neediness, so that when you're talking to the guy and you feel needy, you don't go into your head by trying to fix the problem, but rather you go into the sensation by accepting it. And guys are gonna sense that difference. And slowly but surely, that neediness is gonna go away. But you have to allow your body to process it, not through trying to not think of it, but to experience it fully. And it's naturally gonna go away. Does that make sense? The second thing that guys notice is the type of relationship you want to have. Most guys are open to whatever type of relationship arises from the dynamics that you both have. I'm not kidding with you guys. Most guys, you see. So, but the problem is that most guys don't want to feel forced. They want the relationship to arise naturally, but they don't want to feel as though you're manipulating it in some sort of way. Just like you guys don't like to feel manipulated by guys. You see. So most women want a relationship, but they don't know how to come about it. They come about it from a very direct path, in a way that's almost forced, by stating what they want and being obvious about their intentions. You see. So instead, learn how to disguise your intention. Learn how to use a smoke screen. So if you want a relationship, show interest, but externally put him in the friend zone. For example, like saying that you want, talking to him as though he's a friend, but showing signs that you want to be with him, so that he can say to himself, wait a minute, so she's acting like she likes me, but then she says that she wants to be friend. I mean, what the fuck? Like, she likes me, but at the same time she acts like she does. She says things, but her actions is not really aligned. So you become a puzzle, a mystery that a guy is gonna want to solve. That's what tends to happen. But when you're too forward about what you want, the guy's not gonna really work for your validation. You gotta make him work for you by giving him a smoke screen and telling him you still don't have me yet. But at the same time, encouraging him to continue to pursue you because you somehow show some signs of interest, and as a result, there is some hope. See, so when you go in that indirect route, if you want a relationship, the guy's gonna want to pursue you more. But if you show that you want a relationship too overtly, then the guy already has gained something. The guy already has gained validation. He's going to feel a little bit too confident. See, so you want him to work for you. Even though he already has you, you want to give him the illusion that he still needs to work for you. Not by telling him to work for you, but by externally showing that he's externally not showing interest, but through your actions showing interest. Like inviting him to hang out, inviting him to see you. I'm texting him. You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that, like showing interest, but at the same time creating a barrier, saying by saying I think we should be friends, but at the same time showing a lot of interest. It kind of fucks with a guy's head. You see, so that's what a guy's gonna be testing for. He's gonna be testing about whether or not what you want in the relationship. So talk about other guys who you were in a relationship. So a way for you to do this to pass this test. Because again, you don't want to show your cards too quickly, is to talk about other guys that you were in a relationship with. And talk about how difficult it was to find a guy that you really like. So when you, for example, I remember I was with this girl and she talked about how she was in a last relationship and her boyfriend was awesome, and that it's very difficult for her to find a guy that she likes, but once she likes a guy, she really stays with him. So it created a challenge for me, and it made me want to work for her more. Not because of her in and of itself, because she was beautiful, but because I used to say to myself, why him? Why not me? I mean, I'm also attractive. You see, so by saying, look, I'm interested in you, but I don't know. But most of the time, the guys lose interest. But when I really like a guy, it's because he's awesome. He'll try to gain your validation and try to get into that relationship to validate himself. And that's a quicker way, much better way to do it than doing directly. So you'll get through the test. He'll think that he'll think that you just want something. He'll think that you're not sure about him, but there's hope. And also the fact of you liking him means he's also an attractive person, because you don't like a lot of guys. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like you're making him want what you want in an indirect fashion. And so you'll pass that test. Because once a guy feels like you want a relationship, the mystery is taken away. I hope that makes sense, man. Let me see. Number 3, your sexual promiscuity, promiscuousness per se, right? My bad, I don't know how to say it too, right? So a guy's gonna test that in you. He's gonna test about your promiscuity, whether or not you're easy or whether or not you're hard, right? So most guys are trying to gauge whether or not he's talking to a nice girl who doesn't know how to do anything in bed, right? Or whether or not he's talking to a girl who's always sucking dick, like, you know what I'm saying, right? So the best thing to do is that if you're actually a sexually promiscuous person, hide it, disguise it. You see, give them the air that you're an innocent person. Like I always say, innocent until proven freaky, which is to say, give them the sign that you're an innocent girl, but once you guys are behind the bedroom, show your real motherfucking crazy side. Show your real freaky side so that you could give him a surprise. You see what I'm saying? But if he senses that you're too out there per se, then he's not going to treat you seriously. So if you want to be that freaky girl, but you want to be taken seriously, you want to give that air of innocence. But a guy's going to continually test and see, asking you a question, how many guys you're bringing with and all that sort of stuff, to see whether or not you're wife material. But a lot of guys don't mind you being sexually experienced if you give an air of innocence. Because that's actually going to be more fascinating. He's going to be like, wow, I have this innocent girl, but she's a freak. Trust me, guys talk about this. You see, you gotta have that little girl quality to you that will give you the perfect contrast once he figures out you're a freak. You see, this contrast will provide you with the necessary padding to show your sexually aggressive nature, so that he doesn't just think you're a slut. He's gonna be like, yo, I got this girl, man, but she's fucking crazy and bad. You see, number 4. Your level of self-respect. Guys are always testing that so that they can know how to behave around you. All right, so guys will test your level of self-respect in very subtle ways. So the best thing to do is to have predisposed boundaries that you will and will not accept. the more guy senses that you have high levels of respect, the more attractive it's going to become. So a guy's he's gonna test that. You see, so it's very subtle. So it's something that you may not notice, but the best thing you want to do is to have predisposed boundaries about the things that you will and will not accept. So for example, you say, if a guy does this to me, if a guy ever touches me, he's fucking out. You see, if a guy ever does that to me, he's fucking out. I will accept this, but I will not accept that. Having those clear boundaries and writing them down will enable you to encounter situations and defend yourself, not because how nice a person is, but because you just happen to state it and you got to keep your word. So it's gonna save you the troubles wherein when a guy is subtly testing you, you know what, you don't have to think about it. You already know about the things that you will and will not accept. And so when a guy senses those boundaries, he's gonna take a step back. He's actually gonna respect you more. You see, and the reason why I'm not stating how guys test you in terms of respect is because they're very subtle. It's just little things. Like for example, let me see. Let me see. Let me just test something. I can't really. To be honest, I can't really put too much thinking. I can't really think of one occasion in my mind because it's just things that are very subconscious. When a person doesn't have any boundaries, you could feel that you can actually cross them as much as you want. And most people don't have boundaries because we're always trying to gain other people's validation. So you got to stop with the seeking validation. Have your boundaries and stick to them, and you'll naturally pass this test. Naturally, you don't have to think about it. You just would naturally by simply the vibe that you're gonna give off. Number 5, her level of compliance. Your level of compliance. A man will see how much you're willing to do, and without protest. He'll see how far he can get it. You gotta have predisposed values so that you don't become a yes woman who's consistently doing everything for her man. For example, a guy would disrespect you. This happens a lot, where a guy would disrespect a woman, break up with the woman, heck, even cheat on her, right? But because she wants him so badly, he'll say, "Baby, I'm sorry, man. Can we get back together?" Right? That's very similar to the lack of disrespect. But in this case, you're always doing what he says. You're always willing to do everything for him. And even though he doesn't do anything in return, you still do it because you want to stay with him in the relationship. That's a very high level of compliance without him having to earn it. And that's actually not good because then the guy's going to abuse you. You're going to feel like you're giving, but you're not getting anything in return. See what I'm saying? So you gotta learn how to say no. I do notice a lot of women struggle with that because they want to be the supporter. They want to please their man. But you cannot please a man if you're not pleased with your own life. If you're not pleased with your self-image, because then what's going to happen is that guys are going to abuse you. They're going to use you. They're going to use you as their source of self-esteem. And if they have low self-esteem, that means they're going to abuse you in emotional, verbally, and God forbid, in physical ways. Number 6. And also, when you have high levels of compliance, which is to say you're always saying yes to him, then he's going to get used to that. And he's going to have a false sense of entitlement. And guys are always testing to see whether or not a woman has that. These are very unconscious things that happen. Number 6, if you actually like them. Now, this is more because guys are insecure by nature. Where I'm always seeing if a girl likes me because I'm a guy. You know, sometimes I get insecure. I want to make sure that the girl likes me sometimes, you know? And even though that's not playing by the books, how I teach it, it happens to me. I'm a fucking human being. You know what I'm saying? So they're always afraid of rejection. So you learn how to show that you like them by validating them from time to time. Encourage him to chase by rewarding his effort. Don't be afraid to show that you like them. As long as you mix hot and cold, he'll stay interested even if you show interest. So yeah, show interest, but when you show interest, then learn how to take a step back. A lot of women, they don't understand that there's nothing wrong with showing interest. There's nothing wrong with showing that you like them. But then afterwards, take a step back. Show a little coldness afterwards. Don't show interest, then the next day show interest, then the next day show interest. They're going to take you for granted. They're going to take that dopamine hit for granted. Show interest, then take a step back. Show interest, then take a step back. It doesn't have to be a big step back, but just make it a step back. For example, you text them every day, and then one day just don't text them that much. You text them every day, and then one day, don't put that many LOLs. Be more bland, be more blasé in the way you communicate. Go from a lot of enthusiasm to not a lot of enthusiasm, and make him feel what he takes for granted. Because when you just give him everything, then he's not gonna put the effort to continue what you guys already have, because he's gonna expect that you're gonna be the same person every single day. But you gotta show him that there is a risk that if you don't work for me, you may lose me. And a lot of women are afraid to do that, but you have to do it with men, especially if the guy's insecure. Number 7, if they can get without having to give back. You see, a lot of guys will test like, can I get this from her without putting a lot of effort? Can I just get her to give me head without me having to do anything else? Like, again, like, guys will test that. How far can they go? Because as humans, we're always trying to put in less effort. You see, so men want the easy time. Men want you to invest without having to invest. So don't let him get away with that. Make him work for your attention, like I said earlier. Make him work for what you give him. Learn to give reward. Learn to give as a reward from time to time. Be timely. Don't just reward for no reason. You see, always be looking for excuses to reward. When he does something that you like, reward that and make it obvious. You see, and when you feel like he's not giving anything in return, take a step back. For example, if you notice another guy doesn't take you out on a date and he just wants to go home and fuck you, right? Then, for example, if you guys just casually seeing each other and you feel like he's just getting too comfortable, then stop talking to him. Like, start being busy. What you're gonna notice is that he's gonna be like, fuck, like she doesn't want to hang out with me no more. You know what? You want to go out with me? You want to go out on a date with me? Okay, let's go out. Like, when he feels like you losing interest, guys will go the extra mile and actually start taking you out. Outside of just going to your house, they'll start taking you out. Then you'll reward that with your attention. You see, and the only way that a guy's gonna put more effort is when he feels like he's losing you. Number 8, the last one. If you have other options. Guys will test out whether or not you have other options. It's important to have other options in order to make a guy appreciate you more. At least keep his sexual competitive desire. Because guys will get lazy if he notices that you have no competition, that they have no competition. You see? So, it increases your value as a woman because you have other men wanting you. So this is some ways to show that you have other options. It doesn't just mean showing other options in terms of sexual interest, even though that's the primary thing, but also showing other options in terms of having a social group. A lot of women are isolated and they depend on their guys to actually make them feel good. You see? So show that you have a social group outside yourself and actually start meeting people. Go to salsa classes, go to dance classes, go to martial arts. Just start hanging around people so that you can create a community so that whenever you need help, you have something to back you up. And also, so that he realizes that you have other sources of happiness. Whenever he knows that you're depending on him, it fuels their vanity. It fuels their ego. So take that away from him by making him feel and see that you have other support systems. So don't isolate yourself. So this will take away the power from him and return it to you. So men who know that they're sole provider and your only source of positive emotions become corrupted. Like they say, absolute power corrupts. Avoid this by surrounding yourself with a strong support system. This will also instill fear of losing you, which will also increase your value as a woman. This also includes just having men in your life. Don't just make friends with women. Have men in your life. Have best friends that are also guys. You see, do activity that includes guys because then it's going to keep them on high alert. A guy's going to be afraid of losing you more and work for you more if he sees other men around you. It's just how it is. Girl, trust me, man. Trust me. All right? So guys is going to see, man, am I the only one or does she have other options? And if you just portray that you have other options in your life, then the guy's going to actually work more for you. Does that make sense? And that's how it's done, man. Anyways, this is Alex from Mindful Attraction 2.0. All right. If you guys want one-on-one coaching, just go to mindfulattraction.org/coach/in-the-game coaching. If you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, you better subscribe. And make sure to hit that notification button so that you also get my videos as soon as they come out. All right. Anyways, take care and have a good day. Bye-bye.